Alright, what's going on YouTube? Focused Hands here, and back at it with another video. So, as you can see, engine's removed, fuse panel is flopped over, hoses are everywhere, junk all over the garage, engines everywhere. Gotta clean this place up. But what I'm focusing on today and over the next couple of episodes is one, getting the engine fixed, figured out what I did wrong with the 2.5, and I bet you it's the piston rings. I probably didn't turn them right so that it doesn't leak, because I got zero compression out of my compression test on all 4 cylinders. So there's definitely something going on there. Not too concerned. I'll figure it out and get it fixed. But today I noticed that, when I put the 2.5 in, I noticed that I had a lot of brake fluid leaking from the transmission hose, which I thought it might have been this clutch line, and I don't even know, I can't find this anywhere right now. But if you look close, this clutch line has had some better days and it's gonna need to be replaced. So I'm looking for this clutch line, and if you know, down in the comment section, let me know where I can find this. But the master cylinder, which is this thing down here, the green, is leaking. So there's a whole bunch of steps that you can do to get to this, and there's a guy that I actually watched his video. Shout out to him, and I'll link his video up here. He did a really good job in explaining pretty much the majority of the work of what's required for this switch. So I really won't go into much detail on that. You can watch his video and see what's what. I'm just going to go ahead and swap this out so I can stop having brake fluid leak in the car, and I'll show you what it looks like in the front. Alright, so with it flashed, you can see all this spot, drainage, the floorboard, if you will. You can see how it's discolored here. This is all that brake fluid that's been leaking over the course of time, and I didn't even catch this when I was down here working. So I'm gonna go ahead and take all this panel, get this panel out of the way so I can get access to under here to work on removing this slave cylinder. Let's get started. All right, so I took this dash cover panel off. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. They're 8mm bolts you have to remove. I then spent off the hood release cable. It's like a little bolt you can just twist and it'll come off. No big deal. And then I took off the OBD plug, and this just slid out. So there you go for that. That's out of the way. And now if we get down here and hit the flash, you can see we have much more room to access the slave cylinder, excuse me, with the camera that's back there in the back. So I got to get through all of this stuff here in order to get back there. Yikes. So I'm gonna start taking all this stuff out. Like I said, I really won't go into too much detail on this because the guy that I watch actually did a very, very good job with his video, and I kind of want to, spread some joy for him and send some more people his way, because I think he kind of explains it better than I could. But I'll kind of give you my breakdown as I go along on my experience from his video. One thing to note is that I'm doing this without removing the seat, and if you watch this video, he removed his entire seat. I think it can be done without doing that. I also started in the engine bay removing the hoses and draining the brake reservoir of the brake fluid so it won't leak out everywhere. That's something you also want to do, but I'll kind of cover that as when I finish everything up. So that covered much of that for now. It does. All right, so let's go ahead and get all of these little sensors and clips and wires out of the way so that we can get access back here to the master cylinder. Stay tuned. Okay, comes out a little easier. And what about this one? Simple. Nice work, guy. Okay. Oh, this crap right here is just, oh, it's so annoying. Okay, I think he said it was to the right. Spin to the right. It's to the left. This one's go to the left. Don't want to break this. Don't break this. You have to replace it. Spin to the left. And this one is to the right. Okay. So now we gotta get that lever. Where are you? You're up here. Move that out of the way. Gotta get that lever right there off. So I'm gonna get my world famous tool, my upholstery tool, to pop that off in a jiffy. Tuned. All right, so I got the tool. I'm gonna reach up in here. Move these wires out of the way. Like this one wire here is just in the way. All right, let's reach back there like that and just pop it off. Just like so. All right, now that that's out of the way, yeah, if you look here, you can see all the little leaks. It's leaking all over this. Quite disgusting. Shit is all rusty. There's another little sensor back here. This one has to be removed. Simple enough. Like a little button in the back for this one. You gotta press this little button here and you can slide forward. It releases this little mechanism right here. So yeah, that's how that works. Okay. What next? Let's get you out of the way. Looks like there's one bolt right there. I'm gonna loosen up 1, 2, let's see, where am I? 3 and 4 bolts on the pedal shifter pedals. That way I can kind of wiggle this bad boy out of here. I don't think it's caught on anything else. Let me see. Stay focused. All right, so in there, right here, there's a bolt and there's one at the bottom. Just believe me. But you gotta get these out too. And it's best if you have a ratcheting wrench. to help you with this. I'm upside down, so my voice sounds a little weird. Kind of putting pressure on my lungs. I'll catch you back on when this is done. All right, so with those two bolts removed, I can now get in here, can pretty much wiggle it. And the reason why he loosened this up was to be able to get enough room to pull the cylinder out. I think I might loosen mine up a little bit more, just so I got enough play to get it out. So stay tuned again. All right, here's the new unit. Compare it to the old. Looks the same. Nothing strange here. So I'm gonna go and install it. All right, so I got it all back in. There's a new part back there. I got everything all bolted down. The hardest part I found in this process was getting these two bolts that I showed you that are in here. One's back here and one's on the inside of this bracket. Getting those into position. And what I did to fix that is I took this ratcheting wrench, and then I just put my fingers up in here like this, and I held the bolt. I held the bolt down and then spent it so that it would like actually screw in, because it won't actually screw in easy because it's plastic. So just be mindful of that. And on that front, so now what I'm doing is putting all the sensors and switches, or should I say the switches, back on. And we'll be done here on the interior, putting the panel and stuff back on, and we'll be good to go. And then we'll move on to the outside. So hopefully this little bit helps. Like I said, if you want an in-depth view of it, the YouTuber I'm gonna post up here again, he does a very good job of explaining it. But I'll give you the, yeah, it does work. It's actually not that difficult. There's a couple of little bad spots that I'll point out here in a few seconds. But to finish up this interior comment, this part, the bolts on the inside of here are going to be your biggest issue. After that, it's all pretty much just loosening up the gear shifters to make it easy enough to wiggle the slave cylinder, or excuse me, the master cylinder out. On that front, I will cut you back on when I move to the outside to give you my exterior statement, and we'll be done. So stay focused. So the next crucial part about this is this part where you want to put the hoses back on. So here's the top hose, the top returning hose, and everything. You want to get it clear of all the dust and debris. Sorry for blowing on the mic. So you might find it really difficult to try to get the little clips that are right here on the side, excuse me, through this top part and you really cannot do this with the engine in the car. So just keep that in mind. You know, I don't have an engine in my car, so you won't be able to step inside of this whole area because there'll be an engine in the transmission here. But what I found is you can go through this access port that Ford conveniently made for us on the side, and that's how I actually got the little clips off, is by taking this little flathead screw driver, a little small one, and I went in through this way, came in through like this, and I was able to pick out the little clips. So that's one of the more difficult parts, but I think you can do it. Anyway, let's wrap it up. All right, YouTube, so with all that finished, all that's left to do is to refill the transmission with manual transmission fluid and get a CV axle, and we can fire this bad boy up. I'm super excited for this. It's been a long time coming, but hopefully this has helped you. You know, I don't know, maybe you were on the fence about doing it yourself. You definitely can do it. Anything that I've done thus far on this channel, I think that each and every one of you can do it if you have the right tools. And sometimes you don't even have to have the right tools. You just got to be able to work your way through to solve problems to get to your desired result. But, you know, with that said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe so that it can reach more people like yourselves. And I thank each and every one of you that has subscribed to the channel thus far. It doesn't go unnoticed. And Easter egg coming up, I'm going to be working on the rear end of the car. As soon as I get it fired up and I verify that it actually runs, I'm going to start working on the rear end, because it doesn't have a rear end on it yet, or any sway bar, rear sway bars on it yet. I forgot to put them on. Actually, I didn't forget to put them on. I just never got around to it because I've been working on the engines, taking them in and out. But anyway, with that said, I don't want to bore you too long. Focused Hands, signing off. Peace.